You clicked on this video and saw that I called you out, but it's okay, because I've been feeling the same exact way lately. I've been playing Call of Duty for the past 13 years of my life, being introduced to Modern Warfare 3 in the 6th grade, and entirely ruining my gaming experience forever. Creating this backlog of games that I said I was gonna try out, just to eventually never even try them out, or starting games and just forgetting to go back and complete them. Missing out on hundreds and hundreds of quality video games, which was a gift and a curse, because even though I was playing video games prior, it was just something about this game in particular that just had me in a chokehold. Now, there's nothing bad or wrong with playing games that give you some sort of comfort, because we all have a game that we go back to and play because it gives us some sort of peace, even if it's something that's completely rage-inducing.
No! Bro, this game is dog.
Maybe it's completing the task at hand, trophy hunting, or even the scenery and music being played that just gives us that dopamine rush. And trust me, I totally understand it. Me personally, my comfort games were Skate 3, Wizard 101, and Tekken, which all introduced me into the online gaming world, igniting my competitive spirit and expanding my taste in different games, making me aware of what I liked and what I didn't like. Subconsciously keeping me grounded to certain genres and being scared to venture out and find a new one. There are a plethora of different genres with household names attached to them, but at the end of the day, it is up to us to want to go out and look for them. Now, remember how I said MW3 ruined my gaming experience forever? One concept I could never grasp when playing video games was being bad at them and being okay with that. Now, that could just be an ego thing, but imagine being out late night with the game. Everybody's on the sticks and it's your turn next and you're getting completely dogged on. I would be damned to be the topic of discussion when it came to being bad at video games. The amount of times that I've been challenged and I immediately get accused of trying too hard is actually sinister. But what do I look like losing? When I first started playing Call of Duty, all of my friends were better than me, and that stuck with little 11-year-old me because I wanted to be on the same level as them. Looking up guides, tips and tricks, even looking up what game mode was the best to play and what maps were good to play on. But then I was introduced to the world of pub stomping and the Moab, and this is where everything would change. The 25 kill streak nuke that absolutely decimated the lobby, letting them know that they were in the presence of a god if one was to be called in. And I was on a mission to get my first one, watching the best class setup videos, specialist kill streak setups, how to spawn trap, what was the best game mode for spawn trapping. And this would continue to happen for almost the next 7 to 10 years, with each Call of Duty having me strive for the best KD, the best class setup, and always seeking that reward of either a nuke or a 30 kill nuclear medal. It was just something about calling those nukes in that felt so good. That moment that you're one off and you're getting killed off of your streak, that was so destroying. But when you actually got that thing, oh my god. And this would create a bad habit that would slowly creep into other games like 2K, with looking for the best jump shots, layups and dunk animations, the best dribble packages, hell, even the celebrations. And fighting games weren't any better. Injustice and Mortal Kombat, sitting in practice mode for hours, perfecting the rhythm of combos and experimenting with different ones that would give me the highest damage output. And I was even making combo videos. I was in too deep. Hell, even Fortnite, though I was actually dogs, I still found myself copying the settings of pros and even mimicking the way that they would put certain things into their inventory slots. I could cosplay a stable Ronaldo if I really wanted to. Even games where you don't even need to try at all, I still found myself trying to slide cancel and have the best movement and just completely sweating against NPCs to try to progress through the game even faster, never really allowing myself to enjoy the lore or even take time to appreciate the mechanics. A huge inspiration for making this video was my recent Borderlands 2 addiction, and seeing a photo in my phone where I had a screenshot of the best skill trees for one of my characters, and it had me thinking like, wow, I can't even come up with my own skill tree or take the time out to even read the description of what upgrade I'm gonna be applying the skill point to. And it's like, I'm not even enjoying the game for it. I'm just trying to be the best at it, and it's completely bots that I'm going against. I was over here immediately copying something that probably wasn't even the best setup for my playstyle, but YouTube or the guide I was looking at deemed it so. But while being lost in my own realm, new games were coming out. Absolute masterpieces that I completely ignored. Distracted by ranked Apex Legends, Valorant comp, trying to work my way up these ranks while losing hundreds of dollars while doing this. God of War just dropped for the PC and I never played it. One of my friends kept even trying to put it in my ear that I should give the game a try, but I just kept putting it on the back burner. Then boom, Elden Ring dropped and everybody was on that. I was so confused on why its appeal was so high, and I kind of neglected it and I just went back to my tryharding hole. Until one day I saw all of my friends on there. They were all saying the game was good, but since I was too deep in my competitive bag with every single game that I was playing, they were always just put on the back burner. So I eventually gave in to what everybody was telling me, even though it took about 2 years after they were telling me this. And man, I started up a God of War series on my channel. I tried to only play whenever I was recording, but I found myself trying to itch that obsession that I was slowly getting into. Even with Elden Ring, I did a whole 2-week marathon on that game trying to completely 100% complete everything. And even though I finished that marathon, not 100% completing everything because there's still more to go find. When I wasn't playing the game, all I wanted to do was play the game. And I started finding myself getting mad at my friends for not telling me any earlier, when they told me years ago. You ever get that feeling of, oh, I should have played this earlier? Yeah. That was me. And my friends were having that feeling of, I told you so. With Elden Ring as well, I threw myself into the game completely blind. No guides, no best setups, no fastest way to kill or cheese bosses. I wanted to really understand the hype of the game. And in a game where it's hard and you have to make sure you're listening to everything that's going around in the dialogue, what's a better way to go in blind than to play one of the hardest Souls games? But that within itself is subjective. But the journey of Elden Ring and just being able to freely roam the game with no direction and that immense feeling of completion and fulfillment after defeating a boss you've been on for hours is just unmatched. And I'm sad that I got into all these games so late. Elden Ring dropped in 2022. I didn't play it till 2025. God of War dropped in 2018. I didn't play that till 2023. But even games that I knew I would love, I was putting them on the back burner. I still, for some reason, was caught in this loop of the next season's rank. What rank am I gonna get to this season? Marvel Rivals dropped, and I did the same thing. Instead of just enjoying the game for what it is, I hopped straight into rank. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. Spider-Man Miles Morales came out in 2020. I didn't play that game till 2024. And the new Spider-Man 2 game is out, and I still have yet to play that as well. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna play more games and just find myself going into that reoccurring pattern of playing my comfort games instead of just exploring, creating this huge backlog for me to catch up on but never getting to. And that is gonna change. Recently, I've been trying to tell myself to play more games out of my comfort zone. I've really been falling in love with indie games, and I'm trying to find some more MMORPGs, single player games, and I have a whole list of games that I'm gonna try my best to complete. I might even start a series of completing my backlog just so I can keep myself accountable and fall in love with new things. It's crazy how this habit even came about, because before I played MW3, I was a demo demon. On the PS3, if I saw that a game even looked remotely okay, I was downloading the demo to play it. And I think that's what I need to start doing again. I know this was a different kind of video on the channel. My sense of direction for my YouTube is all over the place, and I'm just trying to see what works for me. But I said all of that to say this though. Start playing games blindly. Pick up a game with no leaderboard. Release yourself of all expectations. Challenge yourself to not completely cheat yourself out of an experience. Because at the end of the day, that's all that video games are, an experience. A lot of people nowadays think that games are bad because they want an instant rush of dopamine. They want something that stimulates their brain early and keeps them attracted to the game instead of having that delayed gratification. How do you have a bad attention span in a video game? Not liking it is one thing, but playing it for 5 minutes and hating it? How does that happen? Open your mind to different categories of games that you wouldn't even play, because those might be the best ones. And stop expecting every game to catch your attention in 10 minutes. There are hundreds of games with overwhelmingly positive reviews and underrated titles and bestsellers that you have to immerse yourself into. Throw yourself in the deep end. Video games aren't dead. You're just a tryhard. Hard stuck at that.